somebody to care for you in a different way. Okay? Jimmy, what does it mean to feel loved? Oh, okay. We're live now. We're on live. All right. That's what it means to be recorded. To be recorded. Being recorded. Welcome, Valerie. Listen, we all have a need. Hey guys, I'm gonna need you to stay here because there's a lot of people. We all have a need to be connected. Okay? Why do you guys think social networks, among so many other reasons, why do you guys think social networks are so huge?
Nobody's gonna miss your status.
Let me ask you a question. How many of you guys check Facebook in here at least twice a day? Put your hands up. 5 times a day.
Depends on how many notifications I get.
Whatever. 10 times. How many? I mean, come on. Some of us are on Facebook all the time, right? Does being connected to somebody on Facebook make you feel love? Does that bring love?
No.
It might, right? Why? Why?
Well, I mean, there's a connection there.
Okay.
Even if, like, you're sitting in a room, you can exchange ideas whether you see them or not.
Okay. Anybody else? Does being on Facebook connected to somebody, can that make you feel love? No? Who said no? Imani said no. Imani doesn't want to feel love. Shayla, what you got? Hold on. Yeah, right? I'm going to need a teacher up here to do it. What do you do with the first graders, Mandy?
1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
Are we looking backwards?
Eyes on me. Okay, wait, let me do it. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
Eyes on you.
Whoa.
I have to do that.
Whoa, we're in backwards.
Chad. All right, Shayla, what were you going to say? 5. Okay. Okay. Oh, very good. All right. And just being connected on Facebook, just being connected online alone does not necessarily make you feel love, but there's certain things within that can add to that to us feeling love. We are all, BJ gets fuzzy inside, so if you have a friend requested, BJ friend requested, okay, so we get a fuzzy feeling. Listen. We are all relational people, okay? We serve a God, right, Chad? Who is a relational God, who's all about relationships, you know? And even when he speaks about himself in Genesis, he speaks in plural, you know? We serve a God, and in the Word of God, it talks about 2 being better than 1. Why? Why are 2 better than 1? Because what? Because they fall what, Jenny? What? See? All right. Yes, sir. You were going to say that? Okay. You know? And so throughout the Bible, you find the Bible talks a whole lot about relationships, okay? Talk to me. What are some of our relationships? What are some of our closest relationships?
Family.
Family? Specific. Get specific. Within the family, what?
Siblings.
We got siblings, right? And let me define for tonight close relationships. I don't mean the people that you feel close to, because I know that some of us have siblings that we don't feel close to, but the people that I don't need any extra from that. Okay, I know who you are. So just the people that we should be really connected to. Okay, so we talked about siblings. Who else? Parent, child, right? Whether father, daughter, father, son,
Husband, wife.
somebody other than other relationships, husband and wife, cousins, right? Uncles, right? Chad,
Grandmothers, grandfathers.
You need to have a relationship with God. Okay. What else? We got a relationship with our pets. Okay. See your pets take a love language track. They do. Who else? Friends.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm gonna say? Nieces. Okay.
Cell phone.
We got coworkers that we spend day in and day out with. Okay? Whether we want to or not.
So teachers.
Godmothers, grandparents. Okay. Whether we want to or not, sometimes our coworkers and our fellow students are some of the people that we spend some of the most of our days with. Okay. Those people that are so close to you, do they know that you love them? That you appreciate them? I'm not asking you to tell them now. Okay? Do they know that you love them? Do they know that you care for them? And do you feel loved by them? You know? guys. I know you guys will put it out there. When was the last time you actually stopped to think about how you love other people, how you show your appreciation for other people? We go through life, we go through it daily, and we talk about all the people that we care about. We talk about the importance of love. We talk about how important relationships are in all of our lives. But when was the last time that we really stopped to just think, wow, are the people that I say that I love so much, do they truly feel loved by me? And yet, how often do we worry about the fact that they're not showing me that they love me? Man, do they really care for me? But when was the last time that we really worried about how we show our love for them? Tonight, we're going to start to understand we're going to learn to love more effectively. Is love important? I think it's very important. Okay? This is my command that we would love each other. In fact, when the disciples asked Jesus about all these commands, right? They had all these rules and all these things going on, and the disciples asked him what? Which of these commands is the greatest? What did he say? Love what? Right? That was important to God. I mean, he could have said, don't do this and don't do that. That's how we live our lives, right? Just don't do this and don't do that. But he said, love one another. Because falling within that category, everything else gets taken care of. If we would learn to love.
And better yet to show our love.
Right, and we're going to get there. If it's so important that we love each other, if God is saying that is the greatest of our commands, and if we understand, even secularly, psychologists and psychiatrists, the world itself, come on, how many love stories aren't out there? Even in the biggest of action flicks, there's always some little love story intertwined. Right? There's always something. Come on, we're talking Transformers and there's still some little story. It doesn't matter what it is, there's something. Okay, there's very few movies. I know they're out there. I don't want to hear which ones they are, but there's very few movies that are out there that don't have some sort of storyline. And let me tell you, and let me go back because we talk about love as far as a romantic love. They're all about relationships. Everything is about relationships. Love can be a highly confused word. Can we agree? Why? Why?
Because love is interpreted different ways. That's why we have benefits.
Right? But check this out. I love God, right? I love my mocha.
Yeah.
No?
No.
I don't love my mocha?
You don't.
But that's how we talk though, right? Yeah? Man, I love coming to Bridges. Huh. And I love my husband. I love my wife. I love my future husband. Yeah, I didn't tell you I got married this week, y'all.
Oh, okay, congratulations.
Yeah, I forgot to go to the wedding. So listen. All right? So, you talk about love. It's a very confusing thing. A lot of times we don't know how to express it. A lot of times we don't know how to receive it. Okay? Raina mentioned something earlier. Love is not just a feeling. Okay? Love is a choice that you make. You choose to love. Love requires commitment. One of the things that Dr. Chapman talks about in the book, and he specifically uses the example of marriage, is he talks about romantic love and he divides it into two different stages. Okay? And he says that the first stage is the obsessive stage. What's going on during the obsessive stage of love? What? You want to know everything? Okay. You want to know everything about that person? Everything's perfect. What you got? Okay. They can do no wrong, right? Everybody around you's going, are you out of your mind? This dude is not going the same way you're going. He does not have a job. He can't talk right. His pants are falling off. What are you seeing in this guy? This guy's ghetto. He doesn't have a job. He's flirting with all the girls. Don't you see it? No. We got to give everybody a chance. God says that we have to love people, right? Right? And I'm exaggerating. Sometimes it's more subtle things. How many of us have had relationships when everybody around us is saying, hey, don't, and all you can see is, yeah, we can make this work. Yeah. And let me tell you, not just romantic relationships, sometimes even with friendships. Oh yeah, mom, that's a good friend, right? And they're like, that person is not good. No, mom, come on, man. Why you gotta be like that, man? The Bible says that we have to love everybody. Don't judge them, you know. But people are trying to tell us, hey, Chad, it's not a good relationship for you, right?
You just called me by that corner right now. You get called out all day.
And how many times have we come to realize later that they were right? Okay. So in that stage, like you guys mentioned, they can do no wrong, and if they can do wrong, oh, I can handle it. I can deal with that. And then comes the next stage, right? The covenant stage. You choose, you either come to realization that no, that's a no go, and you're out, or you move on to the next stage. So a lot of times, what happens within marriage is, okay, you go through that whole honeymoon stage, right? And they say that on average, once you're married, it lasts about what, 2 years?
2 years.
Okay, 2 years.
Try 17.
Oh, he's so special.
That's a commitment.
I just want to say that's not possibly true because where's your wife right now?
I didn't say that. Oh, I can't say that because she's over here because you can't hear that.
I'm just kidding. I'm just bothering you because his wife is in Japan for like 2 months now. I'm just kidding. But you know what? No, seriously though, that next stage is what he calls the covenant stage. It's where you make a commitment. It's where you're not all constantly getting the warm and fuzzies. Not that you can't get them anymore, okay? But now it requires you to feed them. Now it requires you to feed that passion that so easily came before. Where you could spend hours doing absolutely nothing. Now you're like, okay, dude, can we go do something else? Or I'm gonna go and hang. I got a career to continue. And so there's more to it. Okay? Once you get to that place, in any relationship, but especially in marriage, well, you guys can understand this, being in love, loving somebody is not about all the warm and fuzzy. It's not about that constant obsessive. You're not gonna always feel like if I can't be with you, I can't be with anybody, I gotta be with you all the time. During that stage, a lot of times we lose a lot of our friends, right? All of a sudden I don't need to spend time with anybody else. It's just you. And then all of a sudden we fall out of that stage and it's like, okay, can I talk to somebody else? But ain't nobody around because you just left everybody already. Hey, how are you? Sammy. There's people back, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, go to the back. Get to the back.
During that that was touch. That was touch. I love that. Okay. Anyways, listen. Once you get past the initial stage in any relationship, then you have to make a choice. It requires commitment. It requires you to do certain things to make sure that other person is feeling well. Okay. Now, where are we going? It's important. Something that's really important, and we mentioned earlier, is not only that we learn how to love, but that we understand when we're being loved. Okay, now remember that. It's important that we understand when we're being loved. Okay, and we're going to get back to that. When our relationships are going well, how are we feeling? Good. Right? The world is great, especially when you talk about romantic relationships, but not just that. When our friendships are going well, things are good. I got somebody to be there, somebody that's going to listen to me. When I'm struggling with something, there's somebody that's going to be there with me. When things are good, when my parents at home, things are okay. When things are a mess at home, oh, I gotta go home tonight. I don't even want to be there. Let's see what my friends are gonna say when I get there, right? When I can't stand my siblings, oh, what time do I get home? Just going to my room. When in a romantic relationship, when things are wrong, forget it. We can't even function, right? All of a sudden, what happens? How are things going at work when my relationships are not going well? Awful. I can't focus, right? I can't work. I'm not doing things right, or I'm barely getting by, so I don't get fired. And all I'm thinking about all the time is what? That other person. And I cannot focus. Of course, that happens a little bit during the obsessive stage of romantic love, but that's for another class. Okay? And what about when things are going bad in relationships? I'm sorry, when things are going good, we already mentioned that things are easier, things flow. There's in one of the psychology classes I took, one of the theories, I don't even know what the right word is, that they talked about is this whole feel good thing. And a lot of times when we're feeling good, we're more willing to do well. We're more willing to do things that are good for others. You're making me feel good. Come on, what do you need? Let's do this. And then I'm more, if I'm feeling good and mom asks, okay, mom, I got it, whatever, I'll do it. But when I'm having a mood or when I'm having a problem with any one of my relationships, whatever, what do I have to do now? Complete attitude all the time. Okay? Now, we mentioned love is action, love is a verb. It requires purposeful action. In your relationship, if you want to continue to maintain good relationships, you've got to begin to take action. You got to begin to do things on purpose. Time? Anybody got the time?
9.
Thank you.
Well,
We're good. We're making good time. We're
901.
making good time.
901.
It's okay. I have till 11.
What did it say before?
What a gentleman opens us the door.
Yeah, that's one of the love languages, by the way. Wally will talk about that a little later.
Nami, what was after love is a verb?
It requires purposeful action. You're awesome, man. Nobody likes you. All right, and I kind of already hit on this already. And you're gonna hear this, tonight, and you're gonna hear this tomorrow night when we continue. But we're gonna talk about, how we feel about our love as our love tank. Okay, I was asking before, if your love tank's on empty, what happens when the car's on empty? It ain't going nowhere.
I ain't going nowhere.
It ain't going nowhere. And I was thinking, man, if we're talking about an oil tank, what happens when the oil's out of the car? It's not only not moving. If you're trying to move that thing, what happens? What happens, Big O? What happens when the car's out of oil? What happens, Big O?
What happened to words of affirmation?
That wasn't his fault. That wasn't his fault. Listen, when you're running without oil, that can not only stop your car, it can ruin your car. All right? So what we want is to have our love tanks full. Okay? We're not just going to concern ourselves with my love tank being full, but we want to also be mindful of the people around us and the relationships around us, that their love tank is full as well. Because again, remember, if the people around you and the close relationships around you and their love tanks are full, guess what they're doing? They're feeding your love. They're giving your love. They're giving you love. Yeah.
They're giving your love away.
Okay? So now check this out. Okay? And I gotta hurry up a little bit. This is just kind of an introduction really quick. As I mentioned before, we're gonna do the love languages. We're gonna talk about the five main love languages. Okay? Most of you guys have already taken the test. How many quality times do we have in the primary love language? That's fine. Alright? Alright.
Let's go hang out.
Let's go hang out. Have some quality time. Alright. How many of you guys anybody gifts? Gifts as a primary?
Oh, Rodrigo.
What?
Okay, that was
What about touch?
What was mine?
Okay. And hey, we're not gonna talk about touch until tomorrow, so nobody starts touching nobody until we discuss what touch means. Okay? Alright, just wanna put that out there right now. Feedback tomorrow. Alright? So what am I missing? Acts of service. How many with acts of service?
Hey.
Alright, am I missing?
You're missing
Where's the
words of
baptism?
affirmation.
Where's the baptism? You can't have both, man. You're primary.
I'm going into secondary.
Well, I have
They're
two.
tied?
I have two.
Shayla's got your type. Does your other one? Okay. That's your first one works? Okay, that's fine. Alright, so very good. Mine is quality time as well. So now what happens when you're not speaking the same language? Anybody ever try to communicate with somebody that doesn't speak English?
Oh, yes.
And that doesn't speak Spanish, for those of you guys that speak both?
Or
Or Filipino, or whatever it may be. I can't say the right language. I can't say it.
Tagalog.
Tagalog.
No way.
I'll get to go.
It always funny. I thought it was go.
Hey, Esther's gonna tell us something funny.
Are you gonna say Tagalog again?
To go. Anybody speak to go? What you got? Nice and loud.
My chemistry teacher is
Hey, acts of service people. Can't hear.
Yeah.
I don't know. My chemistry teacher got married to a Russian and didn't. Okay. My chemistry
got married to a Russian, and they got married not speaking the same language.
Whoa.
Okay. And I would love. And I would love to hear some stories about the initial difficulty in trying to communicate. Right? So if we speak different languages, can we ever communicate?
Yeah.
Of course, yes.
Some things get through, right?
Body language.
Right? We use body language, but it can be very frustrating. Okay? Trying to explain to somebody, hey, no, you can't use this with that, or you shouldn't go there because of whatever. It's a difficult thing, you know? Come on, you guys.
Not unless you have Google Translate.
If you have Google Translate, right?
Yeah, so far.
Come on, you guys.
You cannot go in there.
There's other only going in that way.
I'm just joking.
I want to hear. Hey, Baba. I didn't. She is. Hi, how are you?
Oh, you know what? I forgot, Wally. I'm thinking we're making good time. We got 2 more to go. My bad. Okay. Sorry. All right. We know it's difficult. We know it's frustrating. I'm just gonna read to you this verse that I read, and I read before, but it hadn't really hit me until I read it this weekend. It's in Genesis 11:6. It says that the people were trying to build a tower, right? They were trying to build a tall tower to reach the heavens. And it was something that God did approve of. And he said in Genesis 11:6, it says that the Lord said, if as one people speaking the same language, they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Imagine that. If as one people speaking the same language, they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. We know that later on that the Lord confused their languages and they had all multiple languages and they were not able to continue to build what they wanted to build. And in our relationships, whether it be friendship, whether it be with our families, or whether it be romantic relationships, you know, what our goal is to build healthy relationships that are going to please God. And if we're not both speaking that same language, if we're not both moving towards that same goal, it's going to be very, very difficult, nearly impossible for us to build that relationship. Okay? Most of us we speak mainly our primary love languages. We can receive love with the different love languages. Okay? But I want you to begin to think about something. Many of you in this room, if I was to ask you if you felt loved in all your relationships, a lot of you guys would say no. Sometimes really because people are maybe not loving on you, but many times it's because we don't understand the other person's love language. Okay? We need to figure out where we're at. We need to begin to be active and begin to love on others. Okay? Not just wait for them to love on us and then begin to move towards them. And I did all that wrong, but what I was gonna tell you is a lot of times what's been happening in our relationships, and I'm gonna let Wally go, is that we're speaking different love languages. And the other person in that relationship is trying to love on us as much as they can in their own love language, and it's not coming across to us. And we're being hurt. Okay? Because, oh, they don't love me. You know? They don't love me. My mom doesn't love me. She doesn't love me at all. You know? She spends no kind of time with me, and mom's over there saying, I love him. I tell him all the time that I love him. But that's not how the son or the daughter receives love. They need time. Or maybe it's the other way around. I'm always spending time with them, but maybe you haven't said I love you. You know? They don't love me. When was the last time? Never even giving me a hug. You know? And that person doesn't feel love because their primary love language is touch. And so we're going to touch on each one of these love languages so that you can begin to understand. You know? I strongly suggest that if you have people in this room that are close relationships, and most of us are, that you make a list of the people and what their primary love languages are, that you can begin to fill their love tank and speak to them in their own language. Not just wait for you, okay? Because imagine you got what, 30 people, 40 people in here? Imagine if each of us would begin to worry about filling each other's love tanks and not just worry about ourselves. Can you imagine how high we'd be right now? Okay? I'm going to leave you with that. We're going to start with acts of service tonight. And that's Wally, and I don't know how much further we're going to get than that.
Oh, yes, that is Wally.
This is Wally's love language in 5 minutes. So I'll let her explain that.
Okay. Hi. Okay.
Hello. Over there. Over there. Yeah, baby. Okay, you guys. So, wait.
Yeah, follow it.
I need. That's fine. I can try. Yeah, okay, you guys. So, we all have a love language, and the importance is this. It's the same as communicating. Even the community, the deaf community, okay, they need to find a way to communicate. You know, you have to communicate. You can choose not to, but that is not healthy. And at the end, it's gonna be very, very bad for you. Thank you so much. It's gonna be very bad for you and for the people around you. Okay, even the people that we're not so close to, or they're not a part of our close friends or family members, still, how about coworkers, how about schoolmates, okay? When people does not talk, we have a problem. Even if they need to say excuse me to go through the door, how about they just push you out of the way? Okay? We need, yeah. We need to communicate. Okay? There's gonna be a lot of laughing involved if we do that. I don't know how to do this, so okay, here. Now, First John, and this is what we use on our website. I'm here in British. Am I like something right? That's like right there. Okay.
Oh, first off,
So it says here, children, let us not love with words or tongues, but actions and in truth. Of course, I love this class because this is my language, and the people that speak this language, to me, don't be talking so much, do something. Amen. Okay? Do something. Yeah. Amen. There you go. Yeah. So that's yours too? Okay. So it doesn't mean that I don't know how to love in another way. I can do other things. I can give you hugs. I can give hugs. I can give you gifts and all that. But serving to us and to those that speak this language is our primary language. And today we're gonna see, some of you already know this, it is Bible based, okay? Now, Albert Einstein, did I say that right? Albert Einstein. Let me say it again. Okay.
Go ahead, Juan. You tell me.
I'm getting better. This quote, okay? I'm learning your language. You see, I'm learning English so I can communicate with you because I love you. You see? Exactly. So don't make fun of me. It is time to remove the symbols of science, meaning the natural, the physical, and replace them with the symbols of service. And service, we're going to learn later on, that is translated as kindness. Okay? So even Einstein got to the point where he got Maxwell's and this other guy, Newton. Okay. And he put that down, and he put Gandhi and Schweitzer's quotes and all of that, okay? Because he said, this is the natural, this is common sense, this is what I can get to, but there's more to human being, there's more to life than all these things that we can explain. Love is something we cannot totally explain. It is said that it is the most difficult word in the dictionary. Okay, the word love. It is difficult to explain. It is something you feel. You know how you explain your feelings. Okay, so even science. Okay, the world. We're not talking about Christianity. People realize, you know what? There is more to this. Okay, there is more. Can you see that? Okay. Now, act of service is one of the fundamental languages of love, and as Christians, we learn that Jesus came to die. And out of yeah, Okay? Yes, die and love and all of that. Okay? And Jesus came to serve. Now I'm going to give you, for those that are taking notes, the biblical base. And Matthew 20:28 says, Jesus came to serve and not to be served. Meaning that should be our priority. Okay? Yes, people will serve me probably eventually. Okay? But service, okay, should be in our life. Even if it's not your primary language, we need to work towards it.
Sorry, I don't mean to go back, but what if I missed like recap? You already knew. I know.
Yes, you missed the
Yeah.
intro.
This is like the last 10 minutes of the class.
You missed that now
We've been
mystery
going on for
class.
like 6 hours.
And the test.
Hey, one good thing, we are recording the class, so you should be able to see it on Ustream. You can go back and at least see the beginning, it's about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So it's like half an hour. So, in John 13:4-5, we see what story? Do we know? Anybody know what's in there?
Let me check my
No?
Bible.
Okay. Well, that's the story of Jesus washing the disciples' feet. Okay? Now, out of all the things that Jesus could do to serve others, he chose to wash their feet. Now, what does that mean? He could do many things. He could make dinner, he could clean the house, he could do the laundry. But he decided to wash their feet. Their feet. Why? Why do you think? You want to say something? Because they were very dirty?
It was the
Okay.
most humble act of service.
The most humble act of service?
Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, back then they used to walk with their, like, pretty much their sadly, so it was like
Okay. So when Naomi asked the results of your test, I saw very few words. Oh, for acts of service. Why do you think this is?
We knew we'd make
Have
up
to be
for it.
willing
Huh?
to do what
We knew we would make up for it.
Oh, okay. So I do everything.
Nice save.
So now
you have to be willing to do the things that not everyone is willing to do.
there you go. Do you hear Sanam?
No.
Okay. Hey, let me ask, who has acts of service here?
There are like 4 people.
Esther and Sanam and Valeria and Chad? And you? No?
Wait,
And Emily. No, acts of service. You too? Okay, awesome. Yes, Vanessa?
She wants Saddam to repeat what she said.
Okay, Sanam was saying that, what's the reason, Sanam?
It's the hardest because you have to be willing to do the things that no one else is willing to do.
You have to be willing to do certain things that other people, maybe they're not willing to do them, or maybe they just don't want to do it. Okay? And I'm gonna give you a funny language tonight. I'm gonna show you few of the things that people that do not want to serve you can say or do.
Sorry, really quick with the love language. If you have your love language, and this is something that was mentioned really just to get an idea. Not only is your love language the way that you like to receive love, it's usually the way that you give love as well. Okay, just keep that in mind.
Okay? So what she's saying is, for example, and this is very, we hear this constantly. Wally, my mom, dad, sister, friend, they don't love me. So my next question is, how do you know they don't love me? If act of service is their language, and mom, dad, or whoever, that's not their language and their language is gift, they tell me right away. Because they don't do anything for me. They just want to give me gifts. I don't want gifts. I want them to do something for me. Okay, are we clear? So it's not that whoever person that you love and you want to feel their love does not love you. It's probably that they speak a different love language than you. Okay? So that does not mean, for example, my dad, okay, will never ever give me a hug and touch me and all of it. And I did grow up thinking he doesn't love me. He can even touch me. But that wasn't it. That wasn't it. Touch is not my dad's primary love language. Acts of service and gifts are. So my dad will send me money, send me packages, send me all these things, and guess what? I didn't want them. I didn't want them. I'm like, what, he thinks he can buy me with this? Oh yeah, Japanese thing, whatever. I will give it away. Okay, I'm sorry. I did. I'm being honest. Okay, because because to me he was trying to buy me, but that wasn't it. That was his love language. It was trying to tell me, and we're gonna talk about it in the gift class. He was trying to tell me, I'm thinking about you. I am all the way in Japan, but I'm thinking about you. I remember you. I saw this and it reminded me of you. I want you to look at this and remember me. But I did not do that at all. Okay? Because gift is like my zero language. You know.
When it's amazing, because uh, the way we love and the way like my dad used to love things in some way that I couldn't understand, and I try to do something with BJ, but BJ love language is not what I provide for him all the time. It's something completely different. So
Yeah, in my house we're like multilingual.
yeah, and
Multilingual.
I was trying to go back to it.
the funny thing about it is that I'm here and I'm thinking the way my father used to show me love, and I didn't consider that to be love, because he was never there for me, and what his way of loving me was, basically providing, you know, but something that to me wasn't important. I wanted him to be there for me, and with BJ, I'm always there for him, but BJ, he requires to be God.
He required.
It's a requirement. It's a requirement. I mean, it's my bad, son. My bad. I put you on the spot like that. No, but it's crazy because you think you're not being loved, but you are. It's just a different way of love.
It's different.
It's probably not what you need or what you want, but it's a way of love. Looking at my dad and looking at, my relationship as a dad with BJ is completely different.
Give me the hug. Okay. How many of you have heard, when you say mom, this or dad, whatever, and your parents say, well, I provide for you. Who pays for this house? You have a roof on your head, over your head. You have food in the refrigerator. How many of you have heard that? So little, the other parents don't do anything.
I think we pretty much all heard that one.
Their parents don't throw it in the face.
You know when your parents tell you you want time or you want a gift, you want money, you want something different than them providing for you, and your parents say, well, I'm too busy, I'm too tired, I put a roof over your head, I'm providing for you to eat, to have that car, to have that. You go to school, I give you education, and then they give you the list of everything they give to you. Probably their love language, what they're saying is, I love you because I love you. I am providing for everything you need. But maybe you want quality time. You want dad to come home or mom and not be tired and have energy to sit down and do whatever with you or wrestle or if you have boys or something like that that is so rough after you're tired. And my boys languages are touch. Okay, but I'm saying, your parents, I'm trying to explain, it is not that your parents, I hope it's not that they don't love you. I'm talking for the parents here, okay? It is probably that you are speaking a different language, okay? And maybe you want quality time, or you speak gift, gift is your your language, and that is not theirs, okay? Okay, so anyway, Jesus gave us a very clear example about serving others, not only through this action, but through life. He will go, he will provide, he will do different things. So whether this is your language, yes. Oh, you're saying hi. Whether this is your language or somebody else's language, okay? Or if you want somebody to learn your language, we're gonna be talking about that too. You know, this is the way it goes. This is the order, okay? You learn this or you teach this. You model this. This is no way that I can ask you guys to work hard when I don't do it. Sometimes you guys say, "Want to sit down?" No, I'm not gonna sit down while you are doing the work. I'm gonna do it with you, and you probably go well faster than me, but I'm gonna do it with you. Okay, at this point. And then you encourage others to do it. Whatever language you're speaking, okay, that's the way to do it. So learn that from, for your loved one. Another thing we need to know is probably not everybody is willing to learn to speak another language. We have a primary language, like I have my Espanol, okay? And you have to be willing because you want to communicate your love and your care. So you have to be willing to learn the other person's language. Did you hear that? That goes both ways. No, my mom has to learn my language. My boyfriend has to. Well, you need to learn theirs too. Like I said, I came here. I wanted to touch the young people's life. I learned English. I have a primary language. I speak Spanish. Love languages are the same way. Okay? You have your primary love language. But in order to be able to communicate effectively your love, you're going to have to learn, if you care enough for that person, their love language. Oh, Jimmy, but I love you so much, Jimmy. When you come home, everything is clean. I have the kids. I have the home store. I have fridges. I have this. I have that. And Jimmy says, leave the house alone. Can you sit here and watch the TV with me? Okay, that's what he wants. And I want to give him because mine is service.
I wrote it down.
Okay, and then he wants to see the whales being home. He wants to see the whales being Jimmy, can you not see the whales bleeding, please? Can we at least watch something funny? But that's what he likes, okay? So, I have to be willing. Well was, yeah.
That is an hour and one.
I have to be willing to stop doing whatever, and say, okay, Jimmy, sit down and watch what he wants, okay? You need to be willing to do that because love language is not about you, it's not about me. It's about loving the other person. Okay? So that is very important. Now, the acts of service is a love language that we all need to learn sooner or later. Okay? And I explain why.
So in the house, you guys know I live with Wally. Wally's number one love language is acts of service. Excuse me. I got a 0 on acts of service.
No.
So if you want to talk about communication problems in the house, come over. I'm telling you.
Yep.
Science is quality. Wally's about being busy all the time.
Exactly. Okay, so that's and I have it. I'm not gonna say now because I have it here. Okay, that do bring but that's why you learn this because now I know. Okay, that when Naomi's not helping, it's not because she does not care. It's because that's not her language. Now you have to make an effort and learn the other person's language and help. Okay, but that's not her primary language. So she's gonna do a little bit of something and that's it. She's done. Okay. Okay. So acts of service is translated. I need an alarm or something because I have no idea.
9:29.
Ay, ay, ay. Okay.
The sun's still setting.
Okay. Acts of service, it is universally, listen to this, translated as kindness. So guess what? If you lack serving others to people, you're lacking what? Kindness.
Dang, Wally, why you gotta put it like that?
Sorry,
I'm working on kindness, though. That's my goal.
there you go. Now we have to work on kindness.
You are not nice.
Okay. So, yeah.
Why you laughing?
When when you don't serve others, okay? Scenario, Bridges is over. And all of a sudden I say, clean up! And then all of a sudden I have people start going like, well, I have school tomorrow while I'm sorry, la la la. This is the thing.
Summer school.
Summer school, yeah, all year round school. Okay. Okay. We need to understand this. An act of service could be something very hard, number one, for some people to do, okay? And it could be something not pleasant, so they don't want to do it. For example, if you bring heavy boxes, I will try my hardest to get the boxes and carry them to you. But it's gonna be hard for me, right? Even if I shouldn't, I'm gonna bend down, and that's when the boys run, Wally, 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 But I am trying to help. I'm trying to serve by doing that. Okay, that is something that is hard to do. For some people, it's very hard to clean the bathroom. They even gag. Okay, so I'm guessing they never clean the bathroom at home. Your mamas are very nice. Okay, so I'm not that nice, but for some people, acts of service could be hard, okay, because of whatever limitations maybe we have, or it's just hard work. Like, when I do concrete work or bricks and all these things in the house, and I do it, the boys come and help me, but I do it with them. It is very hard for me, okay? And it could be not pleasant for some people to the point where they just don't want to close. Like, they don't want to even be close. For example, don't I'll have a problem if you ask me to come close to your animals and help you clean their mess. I'm not an animal person. I am very picky about cleaning, and I will probably do my best to go if that is what you need. But it is something hard for me to do. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is not everybody that doesn't help means, we cannot label everybody the same way, okay? There could be a real reason, and that's why they're out. For example, a lot of people is very allergic to bleach, Clorox, or strong detergents. So if we're using them, they have to leave. They start sneezing, they get, whatever. I understand that. That does not mean that they don't want to help. Okay, that means that they have an allergic reaction. A lot of people have an allergic reaction to cleaning teeth. Okay.
I found out.
You're allergic to bleach? Okay. Now, there is a quote that I found from Dr. Chapman. Chapman. And I really liked it, okay? And it says, those who truly excel in every vocation have genuine desire to serve others. He's talking about teachers, doctors, lawyers, and all of that. So, active service takes you to go the extra mile. Okay? To me, it's not enough to just give you what you need today. I'm going to ask you, can I bring something tomorrow? What else needs to be done? When everything is done at the end of the day, the people that have this language just keep asking, what else can I do? Is there anything else? What about tomorrow? What about next week? Okay, you always want to excel. You always want to go the extra mile. If you're a teacher, you want to make sure your students are learning. Okay, when I teach something, I want to make sure you got it. If you don't get it, I feel like a failure. I want to go the extra mile. If I have to sit down with you one on one, if I have to get you copies, if whatever I have to do, I want to do it because that is my life. Okay. So now let's talk about something. Service versus slavery. Okay? Okay, let's talk about that. Now, it's not moving. Oh, okay. These are the definitions of true service, real service, okay? That is for the people that speak this language, okay? To you, service is a true love expression, okay? To you, service is freely given. Nobody has to make me nothing. I want to do this for you. To you, it comes out of the conviction of that's the right thing to do. Okay, it needs to be done. The right thing for me to do is go ahead, things, maintain yourself, whatever, but go ahead and do something for you. It makes your heart tender, usually. most of us, will notice. And let me tell you, some people don't notice. You can do and do and do and do for them, and they never notice it. Okay? But most of people will notice, and it makes their heart tender. It goes many times beyond the expected. I already told you guys that. And it uses available skills. But I want to do something for people, but I don't know how to laugh. When this is your love language, you do what is available for you to do. You don't have to go anywhere. For example, don't ask me to help you with computers. I know nothing about computers and cell phones. Okay? I am techie illiterate. Okay? Now, I will ask Naomi. I can tell you what. Let me ask Naomi. Let me ask BJ. Let me ask someone to see if they can help you. I will do something about it. Okay? I will not just say like, well, I don't know anything about it. Sorry. Okay? You want to look for something to do. Now, slavery. Slavery comes from a dysfunctional relationship. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. It is forced, it hardens the heart, it creates anger, bitterness, and resentment, treats people like objects, and uses coercion by fear. How many of you have been pushed to make or do something? Let me explain. I need to explain that one.
Dysfunctional relationship.
I need to explain that one. I got her early to come and help me do this, and she did not want to eat. So I made her eat. Wasn't that fair?
No.
Yes. Yes, because if not, she'll be with no eating from 3 o'clock to whatever time we get out of here, because she won't leave me until I'm done. So I made her eat, okay?
She seems angry about it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go there. I had to look for it. Okay, now, how did you feel when they made you do something that you didn't want to do? When people come into your house and your parents tell you you have to clean, you have to do this, you have to do because people is coming over. How do you feel? Annoyed, coerced. What else? Okay, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. It's annoying. Okay, it bothers you, and it makes you not want to. I don't even want people to come over. Let them stay in the house. Why are they coming here? Right? Yeah. I have heard that. Not in my house, but when I have people, yes, I heard that. It's like, why are they coming? I'm like, because we're gonna be nice and spend time with them. So anyway, okay. So that if you get so upset about doing something for others, this is definitely acts of service is definitely not your love language. Okay? Now, if that is your love language and you marry someone that is not their love language, let me tell you, I hope you need a lot of prayer, because they're gonna do nothing for you, and you want them to do for you, and as you do, they're gonna complain because you're doing. So, you guys need to, those that are already, in that age, you need to seriously know, your partner's love language to be able to work it out. I mean, I married one, and literally, he took the test, and I said, "What's your score?" And he said, "Your opposite." And it's literally my opposite. Okay. And when we took the talking in church about personalities, guess what? Opposite. Mimi and me, we are totally opposite attract. Opposite. What? Opposite attract. Yeah. So anyway, you can work it out, but you need to have a lot of love to be able to do that. Okay. Now, what happens when a person does not have active services? Their mindset is this, and I'm giving you the red flag so you can identify this. Okay, maybe it happens in your house. Okay, and until I didn't get to the love language, actually, I was like really upset and lonely. Because I was like, what the heck? You know? And when I knew about the love language, but I got refreshed, and I was like, no, I'm not upset anymore. I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. You know,
Come here, let me affirm you with your language.
okay. Now, let me tell you this. When you don't speak this language, this is the attitude. So when you hear this, you know that that person has not that language. It's a red flag. Okay. Why do I have to do that? They can do it. Okay. They say things like, why do I have to do something they are supposed to do? You're smiling, huh? I'm not getting paid for that. Why do I have to do that? I'm not getting paid for that. Don't they have two hands? They can do it too. Why do I have to get out of my way to do this thing? This is their attitude, this is their mindset. I have enough with what I have to do. So I'm not gonna do anything for nobody else because I have enough with what I have to do. Sorry, I need to take care of my stuff. Who helps me? Why? No, I didn't have those faces. Okay. So, am I? Yeah. There's certain people that you want to smack them. You're like, what is your problem? You want to smack them. Okay. Now, what happens is, what happens is,
That's a very interesting kind of service there, Wally.
two different things that you need to know. Okay. If you are serving others and this is not your language, okay, you don't want to do it yourself or push others into this, especially for your close people or for your younger siblings. I've heard the stories. You're making your younger siblings do all these things, okay, and between dating couples, okay. Well, if you love me, you will do this to me. Have you heard that? Okay. Okay. Now I heard parents, right? Or even boyfriends and girlfriends, where if you don't do this, you will be sorry. Okay. Yes. Okay. That is not service. That is slavery. Slavery. Okay. There are certain things that we should do because we should help. We should do for others as Christians. We should serve. Yes, but it should come from our heart. Okay. Maybe there's a limitation because that's not your language, but that should not happen. Now, actions speak louder than words. For the person, yes. Okay. Oh, actually, in general, you hear people saying that, that's not your language. Did you say that? Actions speak louder than words? Sometimes. Okay? Actions speak louder than words. Okay? So, is it true or not? A veces, sometimes. What do you mean? Sometimes. What do you mean? How so? Yeah. So we know that that's not your language.
That doesn't mean they don't love you. Or they don't like
Amanda,
They didn't have to do that to let me know that they didn't like my friend, right?
Amanda, you should elaborate.
Okay. Amanda, do you have something to say? You want to say something? No? Okay. Okay. Now, let me explain something, you guys. Jenny.
But I think that yes, there's that is the fact that, for example, I can tell you I love you, but with my body language it's like
I love you.
so. What is gonna remind? My body language or what I say?
Okay? Now, yeah. Listen to this. Let me give you a my God. Let me give you a scenario. Let me give you a scenario. It's raining very, very, very hard. I'm a girl. Okay, girls. It's raining very, very hard. And there comes this guy that goes to the car under the rain, gets the umbrella, comes back, gets you, walks you to the car. Does that mean that he likes you? No. Does that mean that he likes you?
Some people like
Okay.
to act.
You might have just got your hair
Right.
done.
Some people will.
Are good
Yes.
Uh,
It is right. There you go.
It depends on the person though.
Uh-huh.
You like
Well,
God.
then it's their fault.
Wait, Go, Josh. Okay. Jimmy.
I mean, that could be love for somebody.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily mean that it's,
So,
I mean, I could care and do it because I care, but that could be showing love to you.
yeah.
You know?
okay. So, we gotta be careful. So, we gotta be careful. Oh, Jimmy, repeat that for the back. You guys,
Saying like, for example, what we were talking about, providing an umbrella for somebody when it's raining and walking that person to the car. I could do it because I care, but that could mean love to that person. They could see it like he loves me, and that's why he's doing it. So it doesn't mean that